Look, just because you can hold a super cool position like the L-sit with ease, it doesn't make you strong. And just because you can do heavy weighted pull-ups doesn't mean that you'll be magically able to float into an L-sit from the very first try. So today we're gonna break down the real difference between strength as well as skill in calisthenics, why people so often confuse the two, and how you can train to excel at both of these. So if you're ready, let's go and have some fun. So when we talk about skills in calisthenics, we're talking about movements that require a lot of coordination, body control, and technique. Think handstand, back lever, and of course, as we demonstrated, the L-sit. Strength, on the other hand, is all about force production. So how much load can your muscles move or resist? That's things like push-ups, dips, pull-ups, and bodyweight versions of exercises that require a lot of strength. Strength is measurable. You can count reps, add weights, and track it pretty clearly incrementally. While skills and strength are related, they are not the same thing. And that's where most people get confused. Being able to hold a perfect handstand is a demonstration of good skill, but it is not a demonstration of real strength per se. So let's take the L-sit on the floor as an example. On paper, it looks pretty simple. You sit down, lift your legs, hold them straight, and that's basically it. But if you've tried it before, you know it feels pretty impossible at first. Why? Because the L-sit is not just about pure strength. You need hip flexor strength to keep your legs elevated. You need core compression to hold everything tight. Of course, you need shoulder stability and tricep strength to keep your arms fully extended to elevate your body. But most importantly, you need to learn how to coordinate all of that combined into one single position or movement pattern. So here's the catch. You might have the hip flexor strength, the core strength, the arm strength. Heck, you might be able to deadlift 3 times your own body weight, but you still won't be able to do a full L-sit. Like so many other calisthenics exercises, it is a skill-based movement, which means that yes, it does require strength, but it also requires technique, mobility, and coordination, and a very strong mind-muscle connection to be able to do all of this together. Now, of course, those flashy skills look really impressive. And if you see someone holding a perfect L-sit, you of course will think that they must be super strong. And yes, of course, they probably have a pretty good base of strength. But as you understand now, strength alone will not help you pull off those skills. Just like you wouldn't directly compare powerlifting with gymnasts, for instance. The powerlifter may outlift everyone in the room, but try putting them on parallel bars into an L-sit and suddenly all the brute strength doesn't transfer perfectly. Of course, with that said, those two overlap. You can't hold an L-sit if you are too weak in your arms to support your entire body weight, and you can't progress to advanced skills like back levers or planches without having a solid strength foundation. So if you can remember anything from what we said today, it's that just building strength will not translate to being able to do some of those flashy skills you see. If you do not practice the skill itself, you will never be able to do it, even if you are stronger than most of the people who can actually practice it. And this brings me to one of the most common mistakes and one of the biggest mistakes I see people do when they go to calisthenics, which is chasing those advanced skills far too early before they even have built their foundation. You see someone online doing an L-sit and you think to yourself, oh, I want to train this. You start doing it, but you do so without having trained the basics for core compression, for hip flexor strength, push-ups, and all the things that help you build the necessary coordination, strength, to be later able to put all of those together and to practice the L-sit perfectly. And by the end, they end up frustrated and they just drop it. Skills require consistent practice. They sit on top of your strength base. Of course, think of strength as the foundation and the skills as the house you build on top of it. Shaky foundation, shitty house. Perfect foundation, even if the house isn't that perfect yet, it will still be far safer to build. So what do you do if you want to train for both? Number 1, build your foundation. That means working on your pull-ups until you can do perfectly executed pull-ups like they are absolutely nothing. Work on push-up strength until you have the necessary foundation for all the exercises that require, for instance, overhead strength, like the handstand. And whatever you do, do not forget to work on the basics for your leg musculature. Start with classic squat exercises. Build that leg foundation that's going to later help you work on advanced leg skills, like for instance, the pistol squat. Work on building the perfect form with a single repetition first, then work on increasing repetitions until you can do a full set. And then, if you want to, you can even go for strength endurance, add more and more repetitions, or you can go for hypertrophy and strength by adding resistance to your exercises, like we did with the pull-ups in the beginning. And then, when it comes to skills, practice those separately. Do not max out on them when it comes to strength, going to failure, and very importantly, go through a progression that will help you build the necessary foundations of the skill next to yourself building the necessary foundations of your strength. Which means that now that you have a progression for strength, first working on form, then working on repetitions, then adding weight, you also have a progression for skills. If we stay with the L-sit, you can start working on knee raises, then start working on leg raises, start working on holding those leg raises statically for an ever-increasing time, helping you build the necessary coordination and foundation on the dip bars, which will mean that you will require a lot less flexibility for your posterior chain. Moving to the floor, working on elevating your body on your arms, elevating your body on your fingertips, holding those for longer and longer. Start adding leg extended raises, hold one side, and over time try to raise both of those legs for half a second, reverse, raise for half a second, reverse, and start building up more and more time in the L-sit itself. Now that you have a separate strength workout and a separate skill workout, you will be able to progress in both, and both of those will build upon each other. So while skills make you look super impressive, only when you start putting it together with real quantifiable strength do you become unstoppable when it comes to calisthenics. If you only chase one, you will hit a wall. But if you can take the time to work on both, you'll not only become stronger, you'll not only become skilled, but you will build a body that is capable of doing very impressive stuff. So my advice, pick one single strength goal. For instance, you want to be able to do a full pull-up. If you can already do a pull-up, maybe your first goal is pulling on top of your own body weight another half of your body weight additionally as weighted pull-ups, and choose a single skill-based exercise, for instance the L-sit, and start working on both of these simultaneously and just see how fast you are progressing in both of those, because they are really complementary. And if you, for instance, need a progression for pull-ups, not just to move you to classic pull-ups, but to some of the most advanced variations, you can check out this video with the complete progression. And if you want a full progression for the L-sit, you can check out this video where we do exactly the same so you can learn it step by step. And with that said, if you like the video, and come on, subscribe. We do stuff like that almost every single day, which means that I'll see you tomorrow. So until then, have a good one. Captain Cairo, peace out.